Hello, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about the first chapter of economics of second year, 12th class. So that a major thing is the 12th class economics is first chapter will be economic growth and economic development. Economic growth and economic development is a two separate concepts. Generally that everybody feels that growth and development is the same. In general it is the same meaning, but whereas in economic growth and economic development conceptually in economics it two are different, both are different, it's not the same. So economic growth is a developed economist concept and economic development is a developing economist concept. The economic growth will be always, it's a narrow concept. It is only, it will talk about the goods and services, how much has to be increased, and GDP has to be increased, per capita income has to be increased. But economic development is not like that. Economic development will talk about that increasing of the goods and services, along with that institutional changes are there. Institutional changes in the sense that expansion of the primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. It is very important. See, from the beginning, the father of economics onwards, the Adam Smith onwards, they have given economic growth and economic development is two different concepts. So that now there are so many people has given it different definitions. Michael Tardrow and Slutsky and so many people has given a different definitions about the economic growth and economic development. So that economic growth, it is whenever you are concentrating on the economic growth, there are four things are very important. One is the rate of savings, capital output ratio. That let us talk about economic growth. See, there are, first is savings, second one is V, capital output ratio, third one is C is labor force. The fourth one is D is that modern technology. Here you should understand. So this is, there are four things are there. Savings. The savings are one of the important for economic growth. The standard of living is very high. When the standard of living is very high, the income will be very high. So in the income is very high means you can understand that Y is in an income. The income is a Y. Then it's a Y equal to C plus S. Y equal to C plus S. So income equal to C plus S means the income equal to consumption plus savings. Consumption plus savings means the marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to saving. As the income increases, the consumption and savings will increase. This is a Keynesian psychological law. Every consumer, whenever he is in every individual, whenever they are getting the income, that income will be differentiated, means bifurcated to consumption and savings. When the savings are very high, you know, where the developed economies like USA, UK, Germany, Japan, all the G12 countries are having the higher incomes. Those are economic growth concern. So that those people, that consumption and savings also very high. When the savings are very high, so where they are keeping the savings, they will keep in the financial institutions. What are the financial institutions? Banks, post office and insurance companies. These are the financial institutions. They are keeping the money in that. Whenever they are saving the money, those people, the bank people, what they will do, the money is then a commodity for them to get profits. So they will lend the money to investors. So the money will go, the capital, money they will turn as a capital. The capital they will take it and they will spend the money and they are getting profits. So the banks are providing investment for a low rate of interest. Then those people will take the money and they will invest the money. The average cost will be less and average revenue will be more. The average cost in the sense whatever the cost they are paying for the factors of production, land, labor, capital, organization. So the land will get rent, labor will get wages, capital will get interest, and organization will get profit and loss. So you should understand this. Economy in a developed economies, like a growth economies, are having well developed because the savings are very high. The capital output ratio C by Y, it will be denoted as a C by Y, means a capital output ratio. The income C by Y or C by O, you can consider the capital output ratio, or it is also can be considered K by O. It is also considered as K by O. So these are the symbolic names for the capital output ratio. Next, the developed economies, growth economies, also having the labor force very good. What is the labor force in the sense? Those people are having a very good labor. Those are the technically advanced labor, the skilled labor, the talented labor. Why? Because the people will have health, education, sanitation. When the education is very good, the skills are developed. When the skills are developed, the productivity will increase. So here you should understand how much productivity will increase. That is depends upon the labor force. You know, in the first year of that means that 11th class you might have studied economic problem. What to produce, how to produce, whom to produce. So how to produce, whether labor intensive or capital intensive. Whenever you are talking about the labor intensive or capital intensive, here the labor force, whenever you are having a proper labor, systematically they produce. Those people who are having lot of skills for the development, lot of talented in each and every their professionality, then it can be called as the labor force. So here the developed economies, whichever the labor are there, all the labor will have very good developmental activities. You should understand that. The next one is that modern technology. Modern technology, see, whenever they are having a lot of savings, then the money was given to the firms. The firms will have research and development. Then the primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. So these countries always you can consider as an advanced economies. Why it will called as an advanced economies? In the sense they will be concentrating on the more and more on industrial sector and service sector. So agriculture is very least. There are 2% or 5% of the people are depending upon agriculture, and national income, the share of national income from agriculture also very less. They will be concentrating more and more on the service sector as well as industrial sector. Those economies, the growth economies also can be called as advanced economies or industrially developed economies. So these are the basic features of the economic developed economies. Now let us discuss about that what is economic development. What is economic development? Again I am repeating you, the economic growth is concerned to two things. One is the increasing of goods and services and increasing of national income, having a high per capita income. These are the most of the things all the people has given definitions. So, my dear students, now let us discuss about that economic development. Now let us discuss about the economic development. Economic development. See, economic growth is different from the economic development. I already told you the economic development is a developing economies concept, and these economies are very low and they are having so many problems. Growth economies, it is in a positive economies. It is an, you know that economics also having a positive economics and normative economics. But here economic development concepts is a normative economics. They will find out the problems and give the solutions. Means here the value judgments will be more in the economic development. Economic development means they are increasing the goods and services. Along with the goods and services, they have to increase the primary sector expansion, secondary sector expansion, tertiary sector expansion. The political institutions has to be developed, cultural institutions has to be developed, the religious and all kinds of health, education, sanitation, so many. The institutional changes is very important. The transformation of the economy. So economic development is a concept of the transformation. Generally, suppose Indian economy, for example, if you take the another name of Indian economy is called agrarian economy, because we are depending upon agriculture. At the time of independence, we are that 80% of the people are depending directly and indirectly in agriculture. Gradually, at present, it is that 48% of the people are depending upon agriculture and 24% of the national income is the share of agriculture. Means that gradually we are increasing the service sector and industrial sector. So what I am telling you is economic development is a developing economies concept. They will have a low per capita income. And these people, the developing economies like India will have the chronic economic problems like poverty, unemployment, and inflation, and so many economic problems are there. To solve it, the government interference is very important. But whereas those that economic growth does not have any kind of government interference. So the economic growth is economic development is also having the 5 important characteristic features. Those are that occupational structure. First is occupational structure. B. See, occupational structure. Occupational structure in the sense that people who are depending upon that agriculture, industrial, service sector, these are the 3 major sectors. The people who engaged in their jobs in which sector? Say, maximum people in India is engaged in at the time of independence that in agriculture. So India is having the rural people and urban people. Most of the people are depending upon the rural, and the rural agriculture disguised unemployment will more. So here you should understand that occupational structure, it is very important. They are having the very different kinds of occupation structures. Those are that agriculture is more people, because that education system is such that very poor education system. So the structural next is structural industrial, that the structure of national output. Structure of national output, and the C is the next one. C is structure of now we are discussing about that structure, the economic development, the occupational structure. In the occupational structure, India is having the different kinds of structure of the occupations. You know very well the primary, secondary and tertiary sector. The people, the India is having the most of the illiterates, most of the uneducated, most of the people does not have any kind of skills and talents. The human capital is very less. The government is not spending much money for the development of human capital. So that's why the occupational structure, the most of the people are depending upon only agriculture. And next one is even industrial sector also, the people who are working, they are not much the skilled and talented. The structure of national output, say the GDP is very low because we are not able to produce the more and more output. You know the agriculture, the causes for low productivity in agriculture, and the industrial also not more expanded, and service sector is also very backward. Infrastructure facilities are not there, power is not there, roads and transport is not there, banking system is not there. So whatever we are having, it's not enough. That that agriculture development is totally depends upon the irrigation facilities, but irrigation facilities are not there properly. Like that, the structure of the national output. Next one is structure of the industrial production. You know that after second 5-year plan, in the second 5-year plan, India has given that maximum priority to the industrial sector. In the industrial sector, large scale, small scale, all cottage industries, mega industries, so many industries are left and right open because they want to give the employment opportunity. When they want to give employment opportunity, trickle down theory, it is also can be called as a trickle down theory, means you want to, the big push, they want to invest more money and provide employment, the increasing the standard of living, increasing the purchasing power, the increasing the demand, so that everybody will get a maximum this is output demand, so that markets will be expansion. Like this, so many things will be developed. But here, India is not having such an opportunity to have the industrial expansion is having, but we are not able to have the maximum. But next one is that structure of the foreign trade. It is very important. See, we are not self-reliance in the beginning. We are depending upon so many. In the second 5-year plan itself, we are depending upon that food grains in the USA. We used to import, and green revolution, Mexican seeds we used to import. So India is totally depending upon the foreign sector, and that is the reason P.V. Narasimha Rao garu and Manmohan Singh said that export promotion and import substitution. Whenever you can export more and more commodities, you will get the foreign aid and you will get the foreign exchange. But import substitution, whenever you are importing whatever the commodity you want to import, if you are having that substitution with the domestic commodity, then you will be saving the money and all. Now the next one is structure of technology, the modern technology. India is still depending upon the economic dualism. Economic dualism means in every sector there will be the two kinds of the modern technology, outdated technology. Means the traditional method. The most of the people still they are following the traditional methods. That is the reason India is still in the backward and developing economies. That social and institutional this thing say that income inequalities are more, that income inequalities has to be removed, and the poverty has to be removed, unemployment has to be removed, that every woman also gives a priority, education has to be developed, health has to be developed. So the social sectors, all kinds of cultural, political, and all these things have to be expanded. This is the problems are having that economic development. See, there are some of the people who used to tell me, sir, that when you are small, you are studying that India is a developing economy. Now also you are studying as India is a developing economy, and your children also going to study as India is a developing economy. When the India can be called as a developed economy? This is a question so many people are asking. So that India is having the lot of major problem is the overpopulation. That is the things, lack of savings, lack of capital accumulation, and all these things. So that here you should understand that this there is a basic difference between economic growth and economic development. Now let us discuss about that. So my dear students, now let us discuss the basic question: what is the difference between economic growth and economic development? Economic growth and economic development. See, these are the two different concepts in economics, that economic growth and economic development. The first and foremost, the difference is that here the economic growth, it is talking about the goods and services has to be improved. It is the economic development. Economic development is talking about the increasing the goods and services along with the expansion of institutional changes. Institutional changes are very important. So economic growth is a single dimensional. It has to be increase only goods and services, but it is a multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional means along with the goods and services, it has to be changed so many things: cultural, political, economical. All the institutions has to be changed. And next one is that economic growth. It will talk about only quantitative, but it will talk both quantitative as well as qualitative. Quantitative as well as qualitative. And another thing is that here the government interference, economic growth does not need any kind of government interference, because they are well off. They are having lot of money to invest their own to develop all kinds of industries. But here the government interference is very important, because the economic development, they do not have, anybody is having an idea, they want to start any kind of industry, they need all kinds of the financial and subsidies and infrastructure facilities, transportation, so much they need. That is the reason that economic development needs the government help in everything. And the next one is that it is technically advanced. They are having all kinds of technology, but here the labor intensive as well as the technology is not there. So developing economy is mostly depending upon that labor. Means there is a question I already told you that what to produce, how to produce that either capital intensive and labor intensive. Here the capital intensive will be more, here the labor intensive, because that India cannot have the enough of modern technology, so we are depending upon. Next one is the trickle down theory. As just now I said, that trickle down theory, economic growth is very good success is there. Economic development does not have much success in trickle down theory because the labor force is not that much of having. Next one is that per capita income. The economic growth is having the high per capita income. Economic development is having very low per capita income. In the first 30 years, we are having only 1% of the per capita income. So my dear students, you should understand that the concepts, the development and developing economies. So India is having the best example for the economic development. USA is having the best example for the economic growth. So this is about economic growth and economic development. So my dear students, you should understand that if you have any doubts, you can call me. Please subscribe my YouTube channel and please share it to others. I am requesting you share it. And again I am going to take all kinds of classes in that second year as well as first year, CBSE, IB, ICSE, IGCSE, A level, AS level. If anybody is having any doubts and any home tuitions also, if you want, I can take online and as well as offline also. You can call me. I am giving my number. As per that, you can call me so that you can, in the town, my number will be there. You can follow that. Thank you. Thank you very much.